Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long before 1975, a YouTuber's on the rise, reviewing games and sometimes friends, but Long Boys Bros 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and welcome to the Wednesday vlog. I don't know why I doffed my cap to you. Actually, I guess I do. Sorry there was no Wednesday vlog last week. I wasn't feeling particularly vlogish, and as I always say, if I don't feel it, I don't film it because I don't want to go through the motions. Now, this is a collection video vlog. Obviously, I'm going to show you the titles because ever since I had that massive clean out in my game collection, and also because of, the various gameplays on this channel of the Gamecube, and that's what we collect. Well, you've read the title, that's what this collection is, my Gamecube collection. I've had a bunch of messages, more so on Facebook, which is, can you show us all your games? When I put the pictures up on Facebook, a few people said like, wow, I didn't realize you had that many Gamecube games. And I thought, I didn't realize I had that many Gamecube games because they weren't all stored in the same place, because I had so much stuff and a backlog that it was just, it wasn't like properly, confined collection. And so, yeah, I thought I'd show them. I've not played all of them because some of them are still games I purchased because they were there in the wild. Now, that's not because I just buy. That's because the Gamecube is becoming very difficult to collect for in the wild. So I don't know if that's why people want to see this collection. I'll give you a little bit of history for me on the Gamecube. I never had one when it was launched. Was it launched in 2002, at least in this country? I don't think it did very well. I think there was a price cut only after, I don't know, 6-8 months. I do remember seeing one in Argus, or Argus big poster, they're a catalogue shop to anyone else outside the country, saying, look, hey, down to this price, da 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 da. And I was tempted, but ultimately I was going abroad the next year to live, and I was happy with my PlayStation 2. I think, the killer app, the only reason most people, this is just my thoughts, can't be, everyone's obviously, most people wanted a Gamecube was for that Star Wars game, for Rogue, Squadron, because it just looked like the movie. I mean, it said on the back, didn't it? Actual game graphics. That was what, was the reason most people I know wanted it. But, I stuck with my PlayStation 2, then sold that, and inevitably moved abroad, bought another PlayStation 2. But I getting ahead of myself. I think the reason that the Gamecube has got this, kind of more difficult to get games in the wild, and this sort of nature of attractiveness about it, is it's kind of the underdog. Was it of that generation, Xbox, PlayStation 2, was it the weakest performing? I mean, well, disappointing for Nintendo. But obviously Nintendo, great first party games. So, yeah, anyway, moving along, swiftly along, came back from Canada. New consoles were around and stuff, couldn't afford a 360, couldn't really, I don't know, justify or afford a Wii, but didn't really want a PlayStation 2. Thought, well, I had owned that, been there, want a console I've not owned before just for different games, and don't want to plump for a new console. So this is how I got my Gamecube. It only lasted a year, but what a great year. So yeah, I started collecting for the Gamecube, and I absolutely loved it. Maybe the attraction was I had a console that, never had before, and got to experience all these games that I'd seen, because obviously Nintendo is known for its exclusive, great first-party titles. And so yeah, I started collecting for it. Then eventually I plumped for a Wii, and did one of the greatest regrets of my sort of, I mean, I didn't have a channel back then, I wasn't really sort of a massive collector back then. That sort of only kicked into my midlife childhood Mega Drive crisis. But yeah, so, and I must have had about, probably what I've got now, but about 50 games, and I traded or took in for cash in Pink Planet, and kept the bulk of them. Certain premium titles that I will never get rid of, like Metal Gear Solid, I kept, but I regret this so much, because games then that weren't particularly valuable, like Luigi's Mansion, go for a fair few quid now, and I really, really regret, why did I take you in Luigi's Mansion? I mean, I bought that second-hand from cash converters for 4 quid, and could still redeem the star points inside. So anyway, yeah, got on to my my Wii, kept my my GameCube, just, because I still have it and I still use it, but ultimately my choice for playing GameCube games is on my Wii, because with the proper cable, it looks better. I mean, you could run it on your Wii U if you mod that, the Wii side of it, so stuff like that, but I don't really feel the need to run this is just me, GameCube games in HD. But yeah, so I started collecting for them again, then I got a channel, got properly back into gaming, and started picking up some of the titles I used to have. Again, deeply regret what I got rid of, and yeah, just fell in love with it. Then for anyone out there who has a Wii and wants to collect for GameCube, I honestly think that the Wii is the best way to do it, because soft mod your Wii, because then it's multi-region and you can get games from, I think I've only got 2 import games. You can get games from all over the world, so prices may benefit you, and stuff like that, to just buy, outside of your country. But yeah, if you're thinking of collecting for the GameCube, I mean, I know it's not collecting for the GameCube, but I'd do it through the Wii. Anyway, let's get into this. Excuse me, I'm on the Pepsi Max. I just got home from work and I'm massively knackered. Had to find a detour because there was a big fuck off tree across the road. Excuse me. I don't think that went down the wrong hole. And he had to clear his throat. And he's even skipped breakfast for you this morning so he doesn't constantly clear his throat. Now, these are in no particular order. I don't pride myself on, I like my collection, but I don't pride myself on having an amazing collection of all unique, really rare, really hard to get titles. The reason, and there are a bunch of titles in here, some that I haven't even actually played yet. And again, coming back to what I said, which is that's not a case of just buying to keep because it's a GameCube game, because I do intend on playing it. And a bunch of these I've already played and completed, and even have videos of them that are unlisted. Some going back like a year. But yeah, if I see them, because it used to be a GameCube Games in the Wild, plenty, like in cash converters and stuff like that, and then obviously it makes sense, because it's become more and more, sought after to collect for, gets whittled down, goes away from cash converters, goes away from charity shops, ends up in places like Pink Planet, where basically their prices are like a gun to your head. Anyway, can't tell you anything massive about any of them in particular detail, apart from the ones I love and have played and completed. But yeah, since it's one of the most asked things, I thought I'd just go through my my GameCube collection. So yeah, no particular order, and they are real mixed batch. But the first one will be Legends of Wrestling 2 by Acclaim. You could ignore half the prices on the front of these, because some just had the ones from when they were in a game store left on there, and I was just too lazy to pick them off. Excuse me, Wendy Pops. Or yeah, some are actually from when I first started buying GameCube games from like 2007, 2008. But is this a particularly great wrestling game? Not really. Its controls are a little clunky, its graphics are right, it's a bit slow, it's nothing fantastic, it's not complete, but I'm not one of those completionists with stuff like that. GameCube games, take what you get when you can see them, people, unless you're buying on eBay specifically for one that's in proper nick. But it's got all my favourite wrestlers from that era. That is why I bought it. Basically, that is why I bought it. I think I've got a gameplay of this. But yeah, so, that may sound like a silly reason other than it's a GameCube game, but yeah, sometimes there's nothing wrong with buying a game that's not 100%. Sometimes there is. Next would be Soul Calibur 2, one of my favourite GameCube titles, by Namco. I've played it on the PlayStation 2, I've played it on the Xbox, I got a gameplay of that, where you can play as Spawn as the unique character to this. This one you play as Link. Now this is one I bought back in the day for like a $5 from cash converters, and then it was in a bunch of games I traded because I'm a freaking idiot, and I had to have this, and I saw it, and yeah, that is an accurate price, $11.99. But I absolutely had to. It is complete in Spankaroonie though. But yeah, it's Soul Calibur, and this is to my mind the best version. It looks absolutely fantastic, although having said that, you can get 1080, well I got 7 something out of the Xbox version. But yeah, it's because it's Link. It's Link. Loads of bonus features over, like arcade and stuff, but that's a game you've got to have if you've got a GameCube, especially if you're a Nintendo fan, so you can beat Link. Next one, again, I saw it in the wild for, it says a tenner, I'm pretty sure I paid far less than that, maybe even a couple of quid, because I didn't get it from Pink Planet, but Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo. Got a gameplay of this, and it's unlisted. Sort of, well, it's not free roaming, but it is a 3D sort of Tomb Raider platform-esque puzzle-solving game with Wallace and Gromit. Oh, rest in peace, Peter Sallis, sadly passed away earlier this year. He does the voice in this. It is what it is. It's a mediocre license, but the source material that it's licensed on and its production value makes it absolutely fantastic. Here's what I've got a gameplay of from maybe even 2 years ago that I've just never made live for some reason. Maybe I wasn't happy about it. I think I might even have a duplicate of this. There might be duplicates in here. That would be Star Fox Adventures. I didn't, but it says CEX, but I know I didn't pay a tenner for this. But yeah, that's Star Fox Adventures by Rare. It's more of a, basically there is a space bit in it, I think, as a kind of homage. Because I've only played a bit of it, but it's more of a sort of an RPG-esque type game. I think I'm not a massive fan of it because I don't think it was intended to be a Star Fox game. They just basically fudged the license on top of it, so there was a Star Fox game on the Gamecube, which is a shame, a great shame, because it's not terrible, it's just not really a Star Fox game. Comment down below if you totally disagree. The next one was, this was from Pink Planet, it was $2.99 and it was X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge. I bought this because I remember seeing it when X2 came out in the cinema, and who was it? Was it Electronics Boutique with the chain back then? And the EB beneath my office in the mall down below with, you know, the metro level and stuff like that. They had this, and they had a big stand. I remember looking at it and thinking, oh, it's X-Men, you know, I love X-Men, before the third shit movie came out and balls things up, and it got, obviously it's back on track now. And yeah, it's just a 3D stealthy Wolverine game. I haven't done a gameplay of this yet, but I have played it. Reason it's cheap, it's incredibly generic, not particularly sought after, I guess, because they made so many copies of it, but it's fun. It's fun, and again, for a game that's that cheap, and it's GameCube, I'm not saying some or all of these will go up in value, and again, that's not why I bought them, but I thought, I'm getting some of that in my life, and it is fun. That, you know, it is. Here's a game that I did have in the original bunch. I traded like a fool. Are we noticing a pattern here? And I reacquired it, and I don't think it was that expensive. I bought it off Infected Flinch, in fact, Dave Price, and yeah. And I absolutely love it. It looks brilliant. It plays brilliant. I've got gameplay of it. It's not made by the true team who did these games, but it's Call of Duty 2, Big Red One. Big Red One. We all laugh, but it's actually the name of a combat platoon, isn't it, from World War II? When I say we all laugh, I mean us British. But this is a great Call of Duty game. Not kind of a, you know, as I said, it's not like Infinity Ward or anything like that, you know. But it came out across all formats. But well, I loved it back then, and when I bought it again, I loved it, you know, again. Graphically, I think this is absolutely fantastic. Oh, I'm quite surprised how many, I know my voice waved like that, how many of these are complete, but yeah, honestly, GameCube, well, PlayStation 2, Xbox, get this. It's epic sauce. So as is this, and I have a gameplay of it, and I got this in Cash Converters. Cash Converters, do something about your labels, please. I don't feel like I have to have the workout just to remove it. Anyway, yeah, this is a great game based on an arcade machine. It wasn't actually made by Sega, but released by Sega. In fact, there's a whole bunch of them. I think I give the history in my my video of it, but Super Monkey Ball. Maybe the Wii version is better because it uses motion controls, and ultimately it's a tilting game, but it looks great, plays great, sense of humour. Monkey in a ball. Who doesn't like monkeys in a ball? Monkey Spasm might not like being put in a ball. But yeah, and it's a tilt game. You know, it's all about reflexes and coordination, and it just looks epic sauce. This video's going to be ages. Maybe you should pause it and go and get a cup of tea or a Pepsi Max. This was $2.99, probably because it is well, it's a very famous game, popular game on all formats, all systems, and so many, you know, copies of it were made. That's not to say there's no good reason not to buy it, and I've got a gameplay of this, and it's Crazy Taxi. I mean, we all know Crazy Taxi. You're a taxi, it's crazy. Pick people up, drop them off, rinse, repeat, done in such a way with such style and great music there. Ultimately, it's probably going to go down as one of the greatest games of all time. Crazy Taxi, a couple of quid for this, and complete again. As I go for this, it's weird. I've just seen the pile I got to go through. This is going to take me ages to compile. Excuse me, Windy Pops. Ooh, a stealth Windy Pops. No, I didn't get away with that. But yeah, the more I go for this, just, yeah, I got a lot of love for the GameCube. I should build a time machine, go back in time, punch myself in the face and say, don't do this. Then I could come back to now and this pile would be even bigger. Anyway, this is a great game. This is actually a US copy that was sent to me by someone in the US. And I mean, by now, it's quite old and creaky, but it's still got a certain charm, and that's FIFA 2002 FIFA World Cup. which was the World Cup in Korea and Japan, where we were for once not that shit in England. But that's why I like World Cup games. Plays the same as FIFA. FIFA was solid back then as well. I don't think I have a FIFA game on this. Well, this is, but I do remember the FIFA game at the time on my PlayStation 2, which wasn't the World Cup game, was pretty solid. But I like World Cup games, and I like this simply because you just put yourself in as your team and go through it. That's the thing about World Cup games and tournament games, isn't it? You play as your boys, and it just adds that element. But yeah, look, it even says Future Video Plus on it. 858-9643 Croatia. Great game. It helps if you like football. This is a great game. This was super cheap. I got a gameplay of this. Played it on the PlayStation 2 back in the day. But yeah, this is super cheap. But it's a squad-based game. Not full-on squad-based, but America's been invaded. Think Red Dawn, and I really, really like it. Freedom Fighters. Great game. I paid £3 for this. It looks really nice. It's got decent intuitive controls, an interesting, compelling story. It's complete in my case, and some kid printed out all the cheats and left them in the box book. I don't know. But yeah, that's a great game. And when I did my gameplay, so many people left comments saying it was a great game. To which I concur. Now, I got this for a £5. I've been, really, they didn't know what they had. I've been meaning to print out a sleeve for it, but my printer is shit quality. But that's, it's the Zelda collection, the collector's edition on the Gamecube, which is basically, well, I was going to say 2 discs, but the second disc, it's not, it's 1 disc. That's just the case it came in when I bought it. But yeah, it's, was it Ocarina, the first 2 Zelda games on the NES, which don't run on an HD TV, I'll tell you that much for nothing. Ocarina of Time, bonus features, stuff like that. I don't know what it goes for. I don't know what it goes for complete, but I know for a £5 with this and that, I was super happy to have it. And I'm not even a massive Zelda fan. I am a massive Zelda fan of certain games, basically. Wind Waker, I'm looking at you. But the other game, we may as well do it while we're here, is I bought it off a bloke at work. That's why there's no case or anything like that. I think it was a £5, but it's Mario Kart Double Dash. Controversial. My favourite Mario Kart game. I love the whole Double Dash mechanic, and it looks amazing and plays super tight. It's a Mario Kart game. But yeah, we'll get around to getting a cover printed for that and get another case. In fact, I probably need to get a bunch more, cases. They're not the sort of case you come across in the world that much. It's not like with the GameCube, you can buy generic sports titles to nick the case from. I don't know why that is, unless I'm wrong. Ooh, this is gonna be a long video. Next up is, this was $4.99, and this is from the first time round when I bought it, so I know that that's right, and it's a player's choice. I don't really mind that, it's such a silver ring. 007 Nightfire. Solid, decent James Bond game, first-person shooter, driving sections, nothing that's going to blow you away. It's certainly no GoldenEye or stuff like that. Likeness of Pierce Brosnan, not his voice, which I always find a bit odd. But yeah, it's a fun Bond game. I don't think, once we got past the initial early Bond games, I don't think they tried to compete with GoldenEye and obviously couldn't. I don't think, there are that many bad Bond games. I think I really do need to clear up a bunch of these cases. They're not fucked, they just need a clean. Where did I get this? I don't know, but I do remember I didn't pay that much for it. Was it? Oh shit, I've got a nagging feeling that someone gave it to me, but I might confusing it with Mario RPG. Anyway, Super Mario Sunshine, probably an example of the best graphics on the system. They look absolutely amazing. Shiny, fantastic, tight controls. I don't think maybe the price is like that. I mean, they're still in my local cash converters for £23. It's been there for months, so you might want to lower that cash converters. I don't know if it sold that well back then or something. I don't know. So maybe that's why. Was it rare and that's why it's hard to come by now? Basically, go around an island, clean off graffiti and stuff like that. I would describe it, excuse me, Wendy Pops, I'm so sorry. I would describe it as kind of an evolution of Mario 64 into Mario Galaxy. I could have actually handled another one of those. Next one, Cheese Fest, standard, well that's probably what it's £3. Standard driving movie license game set to, I don't know, trials and things like that. A little bit generic, gets a little bit boring, but it's source material. Well, that foot's gone to sleep. It's source material. Are you asleep? He's asleep. Is what makes it. You either love them or hate them, and that puts you through a generally not amazing game, and that would be Starsky and Hutch. I'm assuming, I love the show. Barely remember it because I was a kid at the time. I'm assuming that it was released at the time of the movie, the new movie, which I don't hate. either. They work for the fact that they played it as a comedy. Right. This one I did pay $13.99 for, and I dropped the ball on that one because I thought this was the first game, which I traded in that god-awful trade situation I keep going on about, but that's how much I regret it. And that would be Star Wars Jedi Outcast. First-person shooter, third-person hacky-slashy type stuff. I got a gameplay video of this. It's unlisted. Looks nice, plays nice. Wasn't the first one, which is what I thought it was, and that's the one I really wanted. But I would recommend this. Like I said, it looks nice, plays nice. It oozes Star Wars. It's got a great story. It's complete. I didn't know that. And yeah, well, it should be at bloody $13.99. I was bloody Coco. Yeah. So as I said, I'm just going through these. That's all it is. If I have memories, I will tell you. Don't have memories of this. Haven't got round to playing this. Well, not sure. I've played it on the PlayStation, but obviously this does not compare. Well, that does not compare to this. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Drop into the Ultimate Challenge. How old is Tony Hawk now? Yeah, haven't played it. Played it on PlayStation. Loved it, but you know, it was showing its age back then. I mean, to me, the first Tony Hawk's game on the original PlayStation, Saucy. No, the condition. Not this game. That's the one that holds all my nostalgia for. This was one I was after for absolutely ages, and I got it in Pink Planet, and I was amazed. Massive piece of sticky tape. I feel the need to quote Ghostbusters now. Get it? Yeah, because I didn't know it existed, and someone told me it existed, and then I was like, I gotta have a bash on that because I love the version on the N64, even though this isn't made by them. But I've got a gameplay of this, and it got me it for a $5. Wave Race Blue Storm. Some people like it, some people hate it. I like it. I think it's a great game, even if it's not made by them. Jet ski around race styly. Looks fantastic. That's it. That's all I can say about that bad boy. Now this one everyone knows about this, and these are super cheap across all formats, and they still hold up. And they're still great fun to play. Get your adrenaline pumping, and that would be. This is the original Burnout. Sun just went up or went down. Means a big fuck off lorry just went by my window. You know, yeah, reflex, reaction game, racing game. This is, I mean, they all vary slightly. Some look visually better, some play better, some, you know, well, yeah, just handle better. But this is pretty much a good all-rounder. Super cheap, GameCube, well, how, PlayStation or, you know, Xbox. Bag this all day long. Now, this is funny because this was super cheap, and it's not perfect. It's better than its sequel, which I already showed you, so if you're smart, you can work it out. And I think the gameplay video I've done on this is in like thousands of views. I don't know. The first Legends of Wrestling. Look at Hogan. He looks like he's busting out of shit. $2.49. Bargain. Are you snoring? Wait. Are you snoring? How rude. Oh, unless I'm boring her. Yeah, just generic wrestling game. Not amazing graphics, not amazingly tight to play. Amazingly, worryingly. Actually, no, this is in my GameCube. God, look at that for a memory. Remember to go upstairs, Dave, and get it out your GameCube. Why was I playing that in my GameCube and not in my Wii? Who knows, McLeod? This is a great game. Super, super cheap. Came out across all formats. I don't know which one is the best, but I do know this is an absolute blast on this. I used to play at my brother's PlayStation 2 back in the day because I didn't have it on mine. And that would be Star Wars Bounty Hunter. It's a great, great, great game. Released at the time of Episode 2. Yeah, come on, Lucas. You cannot tell us that you had Jango Fett being Boba Fett's dad in mind all along when you wrote the sequels. No, prequels, which technically are sequels. No, you didn't. You put Boba Fett in the first one and just suddenly realised, how the hell did he become so popular? Shame on you for changing his voice as well. That wasn't cool, but this is a great game, honestly. Just pretend you're Boba Fett. That's what I do. Good times. I can't remember which one this is or how to pronounce it. I bought this. Maybe I paid over the odds because it was £8, but just because I couldn't believe you could buy a Japanese GameCube game downtown Bristol. And it's a Naruto one. Look at that. Who knew that Japanese GameCube game packages, say that really quickly, 10 times, were like so ickle, so great. That's awesome. Not a fan of the cardboard sleeve, but Nintendo did like their cardboard. Are you back with us now? Right. Yeah. But yeah, although the good thing about the cases were, I mean, if they put a sleeve on it, you could have a nickel, you know, sleeve box. But yeah, I just thought, I gotta have that. It's cute. It's not a terrible game either. I can't remember which one it is because it's all in Japanese, and that's another reason that you should use your Wii as your sort of GameCube, look, duplicate next one, hub, experience, because obviously I couldn't play that on my GameCube, but I play it on my Wii. Yeah, duplicate, we just touched on this one. I don't know why I have two. I do that quite a lot across all formats, buy a game when I already own it, because I forget that I already own it. Star Fox Adventures, again, rewind and see prior, what are you licking? Prior review. This is a great game. Apparently it belongs to Kev, I'll show you that in a minute. Pro Rally. It's frisky, you've got to learn it. Alright, I thought if you're not, you can't get down. I've got a whole bunch of games and shit. Look, I'll move them aside if you want to. Yeah, it's a really, really kind of, proper physics-driven rally game. Looks nice, plays nice, got a gameplay up of it, and it's super cheap. It's $3.99. Belonged to Kev's Pro Rally. Kev's, not Dave's. Kev's. Same thing. Put a cheap booklet in there. Thanks, Kev's, whoever you are. Sorry, she insisted. This was in my original collection. Go on then. What are you doing? Go on. I don't know what she's doing. This was in my original collection and got rid of it, but had it initially on PlayStation 2, and this is amazing. Spider-Man 2, based on the movie, voiced by all the actors, even has obviously Bruce Campbell in it doing the tutorial and stuff like that. Fantastic. Do you want to get down? Go on then. It's not that far a drop. Alright. Sorry. Professional. Yeah, I don't know how accurate it is, but walk around New York, swing around New York, do a bunch of tasks. You've all played the Spider-Man games. But yeah, I love this game. I got a gameplay of this. That's really distracting, Bubbles. And a receipt. And this isn't my receipt. This is someone else's. Hang on. Oh, God. Go on then. Go on. Sorry, dog's nosy. I had to let her in the window. No one comes, or I'm going to have to cut because she'll go batshit crazy. Anyway, where was I? Receipt, not mine. Not really important, is it? Next. Love this game. Got a gameplay of it. Fantastic. £2. Generic sports title. Don't care. This is absolutely amazing. The EA NHL games, all formats back then were amazing, but I love the GameCube one. Looks amazing even by today's standard. Complete. But it's a sport thing, isn't it? If you don't like hockey, you probably won't like the game. Ooh, cool one. Ooh. Ooh, half an hour already. Look at me. Jesus Christ, I shat myself. Oh, I'm leaving that in. Yes. Okay, I'm not leaving that in. Jump cut here. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I mean, I love my doggy. She's an amazing house dog, but not when you're filming a video. Anyway, honest to God, the adrenaline was going and everything. Scooby-Doo, Night of 100 Frights. This was £3 again, cheap. Windy pops. But yeah, I got a gameplay of this. It's just, your cartoon license game, some puzzle solving, collecting, valuables and stuff like that. I don't think it was received that well. I really like it. See the gameplay I did of it, and you'll get more of a feel for it. I don't know how to explain it. It's a Scooby-Doo game. It tries to punch a little bit more above Scooby-Dooism, if that makes sense. This one is one that I got for £5, and I've played a few of the other ones on different systems, and I haven't got around to playing this. Again, that's just me being lazy, but I really want to, because it's Splinter Cell, and the Splinter Cell games are absolutely fantastic. I don't know, I mean, no spoilers if this is not one of the good ones, but yeah, I played some of the other ones. I don't think I ever played Chaos Theory. Must be cheap because it's a generic Splinter Cell game, and they made a shit ton of them. But yeah, so like I said, no spoilers, but I will get round to playing it at some point. You're kind of getting in the way now, Doogie. Right, now the sports title, again, helps if you like the sport. I'm not a massive fan of it. Don't hate me. But I just, based on the NHL game, I just thought, I got to give it a go. I've got to give it a go. And I got a gameplay of it, and it's not half bad. It's games like this that show that the GameCube, because it was more powerful, way more powerful than PlayStation 2. Was it biting at the heels of the Xbox? I'm not sure. But that would be NBA Live 06. You know, the rule with these EA games is take a year off to know when it came out. But honestly, this game's got superb graphics. I've played a lot more of these than I thought I had. This one I played, I think I've got an unlisted gameplay of it, or maybe not. £3. Got it because it's a Sonic game. Obviously, at this point, Sega had jumped ship, hadn't they? Well, not jumped ship, abandoned their own ship, I guess. And a shame. And just start producing for other consoles. So this is across all the systems at the time. Underwhelming. Sonic Heroes, underwhelming. Looks, I don't know, it's like a poor man's Sonic Adventure. In fact, Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast is the better game. Then we have EA Sports, think EA again, EA Sports Knockout Kings 2003, played this on the PlayStation 2. This is far better looking to my mind. Another example of if you like the sport, well no, because boxing's pummeling the pants out of someone. So to some degree it's a fighting game, we all like that. I got a gameplay of this and that's on bunch of views, but honestly, I think this was literally a quid or something. Pick this up, pick any of these boxing ones up of this EA type, because they're awesome sauce. Now, we're almost there, I believe. We're almost there. Burnout 2 Point of Impact. Burnout, $2.99, super cheap. You know, what more can I say? Improved, added features and stuff like that. Burnout, basic. All the Burnout games are amazing. Aren't we overdue for a Burnout game? Ooh, duplicates. No, that makes sense. Anyway, right, jumping back. Next one is, and this is from the first time around, so I probably didn't actually pay $2.99 for it, but I don't think you pay that much more for it now anyway. 007 Agent Under Fire. You look like Brosnan. Right about the time of the Brosnan movies, you got more of a traditional appearance of Bond made up out of a bunch of other Bonds. If you played it, I know you know what I mean. You got gadgets, you got car chase, you got first-person shooters, controls clunky, certainly not GoldenEye, but you know it's got a fully realised story. I think you've got a song intro and everything, but for for being a Bond game, what do you expect for the money? I was gonna say, oh look, I've got 2 Super Mario Sunshines. I'm gonna be rich. But no, this, as soon as I picked it up, I thought, I know this. When I was doing college again for learning to be a union rep, and we went for lunch, I went over the road. They all went for like a pub lunch. I just went, I saw a flea market, I'm going in there. I saw this for, I don't know, it wasn't much, wasn't much. Opened it up when I got home, and it's got the manual and everything for Mario Sunshine, but it's got Paper Mario in it. And apparently when I put it on Facebook, a few people said, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I don't know. I have played this, I only played it for a couple of hours. It is great, but it's a bit heavy on the RPG for me. That rhymed, excuse me. Windy pop's inevitable. WrestleMania 18. We have a different cover, don't we, in the UK? Showcase of the Immortals. Excuse me. If I open and close it, chances are it doesn't have a manual, but it doesn't really matter because this is just me going through the collection, not an overview of pickups or stuff like that. Generic wrestling game, fun to play, ultimately very, very underwhelming. Very underwhelming. This is an interesting one. This, again, is super cheap. $2.99, but it's 13 is what it's called, and it's cell shading. It's a first-person shooter with a really, really good story. Try it. Takes a bit to get going, if that makes sense, but definitely worth it. Yeah, kind of a different, quirky first-person shooter. That gives you the indication of the graphic style. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on the PlayStation 2. Don't hold me to any of these facts, people. And the original Xbox. This is a great game. See, there you go. Look at my collection, because I said it's not saying it's the best collection or amazing like that. Loads of these are what you would consider the really cheap. Well, there are the really cheap ones, but I'm having so much fun with them, or have had so much fun with them. This is very early GameCube. This is probably 2002, and I'm sure there's a sequel, which I've never played. And I played this on the PlayStation 2 back in the day, so when I saw this, I thought, from cash converters for 150, I'm having that. And that's Conflict Desert Storm. Squad-based. It's no sort of SOCOM, which is a game I need to get on here. I just made a mental note of that. Squad-based plays Delta Force or the SAS, you know, various weapons, missions, tech, stuff like that. Brilliant for £1.50. So much so, I thought I'd say it out loud and make my voice pop up an octave. Then we have Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which was the 5th, 6th, I don't know. This was a £5. That might have been a bit too much. Yeah, entry into Mortal Kombat. Was it before the weird one where you can drive on the Wii, and after? No, that one on the PlayStation 1. This must be way after that. I don't know. If you know anything about it, let me know. I haven't actually played this, I don't think. But I don't think it's considered that great. But it's a 3D entry. I mean, they were still finding their feet at this point with the way 3D worked with it, wasn't it? I think they've sort of gone back to the more or less, well, it looks 3D, but not. 2.5 now, but yeah. I will do a gameplay of that, so I can let you know if it is any good. I'm not going to hold my breath. Right, getting into the crunch. This, haven't played it, did text someone when I bought it, and he said it's shit. I bought it, and it was £8 as well. WWE Crush Hour. I don't know, car combat with the WWE. That's why I bought it. My brain just went, fart. How does that even work? I think it works because they've owned every form of entertainment in the future, WWE, so now they have this car thing. Haven't played it, we'll do a gameplay of it. Don't spoil it for me. My mate already has, but, you know, said it's shit. Anyway, right. Oh, we'll do it like this. ISS2 got a gameplay of this. It's not like, you know, Pro Evolution Soccer standards, but it is a really, really fun, good football, you know, arcade sim. More arcade than sim, but, you know, you could do a lot in it. Yeah, there you go, $1.99. Honestly, seriously, don't let the price of these things put you off. That's a blazer. As is this. This definitely wasn't $4.99. V-Rally 3. Actually, no, was it? Yes, it was. It was that place in Western. V-Rally 3 by Atari. Yeah, we know V-Rally. This is really Sim-Saru. Sorry. Where it's... You can't just jump straight into it and expect to, like, you know, do a blinder. I'm giving you attention. You've got to learn it. You've got to learn it. It's, you know, it's titchy at best. But yeah, I got a gameplay. Check that out. You two bad boys are waiting. We're actually into what I consider like the top end, you know, dog's bollocks of GameCube games. Rocky, talked about this game so much. There you go, $2.49. Best boxing game, my favourite boxing game of all time. In my top 10 list I did for the GameCube. Basically, who doesn't want to fight is Rocky through, and you look like him through all the stages of the movies, you know, like kind of out-of-shape Rocky to super uber steroid Rocky. You can fight as Drago, you can fight Drago, you can even fight the Rocky bronze statue. I love it. If you love Rocky, get this. That's all there is to it. Get it. This is a game that I got rid of when I traded them in, then bought it again, then got rid of it again, then bought it again, got rid of it again. I think I did a video on that, but got it this time. Ain't going anywhere. Okay, let's try that again. Apologies for the jump cut. I've just realised how little information I'm filming this on my phone. My phone can actually handle. I had to go and dump everything onto the computer and come back to finish this off. So apologies for that. Apologies for the interruptions and jump cuts in this video. Apologies for how long it's going to be. It's going to be a whopper. Oh dear, that's what she said. Anyway, only 4 more left. 3 of these are absolute must-owns on the system. Anyway, right, so here's a really interesting one in itself because it's a James Bond game. It's 007 Everything or Nothing, but it's basically, I think I could be wrong, it's canon. It's Pierce Brosnan's last official appearance as James Bond. It's his likeness, he voices the character, it's got a fully written plot, it's got an intro, it's got a song, it's third person, but don't let that put you off with its driving stages as well. But it is a Bond movie. It really is. It plays really, really well. It's on other systems, but this is the only one I played, and I got a gameplay of it. I absolutely love it. Graphically brilliant. It is a Bond game. It really, really, really is. It's witty, it's funny, it's compelling, the story is great, and you get to fight Jaws as he looked in the 80s. I mean, that's a bucket for the win right there. I don't know if this is expensive or not. I can't actually read the price on the back. Well, according to the back, it actually says 99p. I'm pretty sure I didn't pay that for it, or maybe I did and it's really, really old. But if you can get this for 99p, get this. Well, no, get it for more than that. This is a great game. Unless that's just me. I don't know. Now we're into must-own territory. Star Wars Rogue Leader Rogue Squadron 2. A launch title. The title I said earlier on the video, which was why most people either bought one or drooled over a GameCube. gameplays of these. The back doesn't do it justice. It even says actual game graphics on the back. It looks like the movie, honestly. When it does the sweep by, right, granted it's nicked from the horrible insertions by Lucas in the 97 editions or whatever, but when it's got the sweep by the X-Wings, you know, flying towards Death Star, it looks amazing, graphically stunning. Levels from the movies, I just can't explain what a good looking game it is, and it's so common, it's so cheap, there is no reason not to own this. Blow everything out of the water on other systems at the time, still pretty much one of the best looking and best playing games on the GameCube. I recommend this so much. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. Snowspeeder, who doesn't want to be a Snowspeeder? Obviously, it's a sequel to the N64 one, and it's made by Factor 5. But this just is, honest to God, get it, people, get it. And it looks even better on your Wii when you use the fancy component cable thingy doohickey. Now we have the sequel to that, Star Wars Rebel Strike, Rogue Squadron 3. Was this I don't know when this 2003. I remember the adverts for it when I was at a bar in Montreal, popping up the screen and thinking, holy shit, you could be on foot, because that's what distinguishes this from that one. But this is generally considered weaker. That's not to say it's a terrible game. The graphics are amazing. There's the 3 original Atari arcade games are hidden in here. There's documentaries hidden in it. I mean, and I forgot to mention on the first one, there's so much hidden content, cheats, codes, levels, stuff like that. It's just, this is how you make games. This is a labour of love, so don't just gaming with Star Wars as well. But yeah, this has got the voices sampled from the original movies, because there's a bunch of bonus movies you have to unlock, games you have to unlock where you're on the Death Star as stormtroopers in a third person on foot mode. Then you're escaping from it, you know, with the whole we're not out of this yet, great kid, don't get cocky and all that shit. Brilliant. But the reason, and I kind of agree with them, but it doesn't ruin it. By the way, $3.99, holy cow. And this is like available in it is a co-op game. Yeah, the reason the on-foot levels aren't great, by the way, the speeder bike level in this is fucking insanely brilliant and beautiful. Never mind. Yeah, it's on foot, you don't feel like you're completely in control. You feel like there's an autopilot thing going on. Your gun just kind of locks on and it removes that challenge and feeling of full control you get in the vehicle stages, but it doesn't ruin it. They're just the weaker stages, and there's more flying stages anyway. But yeah, honest to God, these two are absolute must-owns. Honestly, they're absolute must-owns. Now, the last one, my favourite game of all time, just giving it away, my favourite GameCube game of all time, just giving it away, would be Metal Gear. I need to clean the case up. Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. Masterpiece. Now, I remember this is from when I first had my GameCube. One of the guys at work had it, who still had a GameCube, and told me about it. And he said, see, even I wouldn't get rid of this when I did my purge, because it's my favourite game of all time on the PlayStation. He said he had it and told me about it, so I went around every second-hand game store, and even then, this is like, I don't know, 2007, maybe 8, they were like, you know, sorry, we don't have it, it's hard to get, and you'll probably pay at least 25 quid for it. So I offered him 18 quid, and he said, and he was skint, so he was living off 25p noodles until he paid off his debt. So yeah, he said, all right then, it's in perfect nick, and yeah, I've completed this so many times. I have all the unlocks in the bandana, you know, the stealth uniform and stuff like that. It's complete. It's amazing. It looks fantastic. It borrows elements from Metal Gear Solid 2, which was out at the time, done by Konami. This is done by Silicon Knights, but overseen by Hideo Kojima. So they've put in the mechanic that you can aim first person and get dog tags like you could in Metal Gear Solid 2. But that's in this, but it's the original game. But there are changes, some of the voices, but it's still the same voice actors are different in there. I mean, Yoshi's in it for starters. I mean, he's a doll that you shoot. And the Psycho Mantis, sorry, spoilers, mechanics are the same, where he reads your card and put your pad into the other port. But this is a brilliant game. I don't know if it's hard to get now, if pricey, rare, anything like that, but I do know if you see it for a reasonable price, pick it up, change your freaking life. Anyway, I apologise for the awkward nature of this video, the cuts here and there. I have no idea what this is going to look like, because this is going to be a behemoth to edit. Yes, I know it looks crap, but I do have to edit videos. But yeah, that's my GameCube collection. And if we can take one thing from this, which is, you know, it's not amazingly, you know, expansive, exclusive, you know, rare ones and stuff like that. when I say exclusive, I mean like, you know, titles that are the must-own titles, the ones that cause people dilemmas, collect and stuff like that. It's not any of that. In fact, the majority, as you've seen, is super, super cheap, you know, super popular titles. But the point is, just because they're cheap doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. Would I recommend collecting for the GameCube? Yes, I would. You don't have to buy the uber expensive stuff, you really don't. But it is a fantastic system, and I think, you know, probably best to start now because it's just getting more and more, you know, because of its underdog nature, I don't know, difficult to collect for, especially in the wild. But yeah, I love this system, and if anything, as I said, your best route for, you know, cheapness and best way it looks and stuff like that, and, you know, foreign games and stuff, is do it for your Wii. Anyway, that was my GameCube collection, and thank you very much for watching, or persevering, I should say, and I'll see you later.